Hello, PED 110 family. Welcome back for a new week of fitness, wellness, and health. So, this week, by June 13th, you should have completed General Principles of Exercise for Health and Fitness. And in that chapter, we cover things such as overload, progression, and specificity, as well as the FIT principle, frequency, intensity, time, and type. And then also, you would have read up on components of an exercise regimen or a routine, such as the warm up, the workout, and cool down. So really, you have the general knowledge here to start putting your own fitness plan together. Then we get into specific components of health-related fitness, and the first, and honestly the most important, is cardiorespiratory endurance. Here we're talking about heart health and how your heart and blood vessels work together, and your lungs work together to deliver oxygenated blood throughout your body. We realize that this is a key to overcoming many of the chronic illnesses that we face today with conditions associated with heart disease and cardiovascular disease. Okay, and this is the number one combatant for those things, especially if we're facing issues that are out of our control, such as hereditary issues where we have a history of heart disease. This is the way we combat that with cardiorespiratory endurance exercises and um, a good healthy diet. Now, along those lines, though, it's important that you understand and assess your current level of health so you don't put yourself at risk when you engage in these activities. And that gets back up to chapter 12 that we covered earlier. So moving on to the two additional components of health-related fitness that we're going to cover this week, and that will be due by June 20th. We have my personal favorite, improving muscular strength and endurance. This is kind of the glamour component, where we really think about toning our body and strengthening our body here. And keep in mind that lifting weights doesn't necessarily have to make you big and bulky. In fact, that's not how I lift at all. And so this chapter will get into explaining the difference between lifting to build mass and then lifting to add tone or sculpting your body. So you'll become much more informed and help debunk a lot of myths that you may have about lifting weights once you get through this chapter. And then I consider the next to probably be the most overlooked, the flexibility. If you think back to your high school PE classes and middle school PE classes, we didn't take stretching all that seriously. And then that carries over to today, where most people in the gym just begin a workout without ever exercising, without warming up with a stretching routine or without cooling down with a stretching routine. We really pay very little attention to our flexibility. And that area is critically important for our range of motion, in particular as we get older. And it affects our posture and, again, range of motion as we become a little more sedentary, a little less active. And so it's really important that we're intentional about stretching our body to make sure we maintain and improve in this area. And so it doesn't require a lot, just a few minutes a day of intentional stretching and flexibility exercises. And so just a couple reminders. Your labs are now optional. Remember the incentives for completing the labs, though. If you complete all labs for the semester, you get your lowest quiz grade dropped and replaced with a 100, and then you get a 100 for a test grade, and that'll weigh pretty heavy because you won't have many actual tests. Basically, all you'll have are quizzes, and that gets me into, you have a quiz for chapter 4 and a quiz for chapter 5. I'll remind you, use your PowerPoint and your textbook for both of those quizzes. Okay, it's a resource I'm encouraging you to use. It's not cheating. And then the last thing I'll bring to your attention is your checklist. Okay, and this is just a sample student. This isn't anyone in the class, but notice none of these checklists are filled in with green. If that's you, that means that you would be missing over half the assignments on some of the checklist. Bottom line is, there's not a chapter here or a section where everything has been completed. Don't be that guy. Don't fall into that category. We want bars that are completely filled with green. And sometimes it's as simple as just clicking on the link to get the credit, which, remember, even if you don't complete the labs, you must click on the link. I can't emphasize enough how important and how beneficial the labs are, though, just for your own personal knowledge and personal growth when it comes to not only fitness, but overall wellness. And so I encourage you, as the semester goes on, to go back and revisit chapter 1 also, because the book, like I said, does a great job of focusing on body here, but chapter 1 focuses on the other components of health and overall wellness. Guys, I hope you're enjoying the semester. It really is flying by, though. We are already at the June 20 mark, and so we're inching closer and closer to the finish line. Remember, I'm here for you if you need any assistance. We've had some unusual technical issues lately, so if you experience any technical issues, please let me know and I can guide you in the right direction, or we can come up with a plan B, so to speak. All right, it's my pleasure to work with you all. Take care, and again, reach out to me if you need me.